Hi, I'm Steve Bohner from 13 on your side. I'm talking with Derek Call, the operations director for ArtPrize. Thanks for joining me today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So it's been 13 years since Grand Rapids native Rick DeVos started ArtPrize, and over the years, things have changed a lot. New venues, new artists, new twists on the festival each year. Can you talk a little bit about what's new this year specifically?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you know, hopefully know by now, after 13 years, Art Prize is an ongoing experiment, and that means we like to try new things every year. And this year is definitely no different. Um, I think people will be really happy to see that we've brought back a lot of or a few of the elements that we had during Art Prize pre-pandemic. For example, we're bringing back our really great and robust education days programming. So that's where we bring thousands and thousands of K through 12 kids to downtown Grand Rapids and let them really experience art and get credit in their classes while doing it. So we're really excited about that. We're bringing back events as well. So this year you'll see a really great opening celebration that's for the community taking place on Friday night, September 16th at Calder Plaza. And then we'll bookend that with a closing night festivity held at Studio Park, where we'll have live entertainment, again, free and open to the community. And we'll also be handing out our awards during that time as well. So you'll get to hear and see who's won Art Prize 2022, and which is exciting. So yeah, we're bringing back a few of those elements that people used to see, and which is really exciting. So
Okay, and it looks like a big thing that you're adding this year is the interactive map. Can you talk a little bit about that, how it works for visitors, and just kind of how walk people through the step-by-step process of that map?
yeah, absolutely. So we've really made an effort and have really streamlined the way that people access our prize. As you know, it can be very overwhelming coming downtown to see over 1,000 art installations. So new this year, there's no additional like mobile app that you need to download. Everything is done through artprize.org. And like you mentioned, one of those features that's really helpful to visitors is that map. You can go on there and you can see every single venue. You can see which art is being shown at those particular venues. You can see the hours that the venues are open. And there's different layers in the map. So if you want to see venues that are all indoor, you can search for indoor venues. Or if you want to see all the outdoor art, on the flip side, you can see all the outdoor art. So it's a really, really great tool for people to kind of have in their hands. They can have it in their hands either digitally, like I said, on artprice.org, through their mobile device, or there will be printed maps throughout the ArtPrize district as well that people can pick up and utilize while they're visiting as well. So it's a really, really great tool that we're really excited about. We hope people use it. And it's a really great way to connect with artists as well. In addition to seeing all the venues, like I said, you'll be able to see what art is being shown. And you can go on and see the artist profile, see what they're showing. And that's where you can choose that art if you so want to do so. Choose that art as one of your favorites. It's as easy as clicking a star next to the title of the piece. That will add that to your favorites list that you'll be able to access throughout ArtPrize. So if you're walking around or you're hanging out with friends and family and someone's like, what have you seen that you really like? You can go to your favorites list and be able to read off kind of what you've seen and share that with them. So really excited. And then speaking of the awards that we'll be giving out, that favorite list and the favorite feature will play into that public prize money that we'll be giving out on September 30th. So it's really great, and it's quite easy for people to navigate. We wanted to make it, like I said, as accessible as possible for everybody.
Okay, so you're basically the favoriting is kind of taking place of the voting systems that you had in the past. So I know you had several different ways of doing it. You had like the scavenger hunt prizes last year, and
Yeah.
previous years before the pandemic, you just had strict voting systems, or you had the systems where you had to go up to a booth and vote the first couple of years. So
Yeah.
this is kind of like people ranking just through favorites throughout the entire event. Are
That's
you
right.
going to have like a real time map where you can see like what's most popular at the time? So like let's say a week in, it shows the favorites overall listed. Is that how that works?
So you won't be able to see what other people have favorited. You'll be able to, like I said, pull up your favorites list and talk about them. But we won't have like a scoreboard or a tally or anything like that. Similar to the way that we structured voting, the public vote like we used to do. So we won't be sharing the information and who's kind of in the lead, that kind of thing. Just out of respect for the artists and out of the game, respect of the game that we're creating here. So you won't be able to see that, but it does allow us to really hone in on specific categories of the prizes. So we could have, the most favorited installation on the west side. We could have the most favorited installation that's an outdoor piece. So it really allows us to kind of get more specific in the awards and in the prize money as well.
Okay, and can you talk a little bit about the awards and the prize money? Like how many different categories you guys having? Can you explain those for me, please?
So we're ArtPrize this year is awarding about $250,000 in prize money to artists. Part of that will be given out based on the favorites and the favoriting feature on our website. And then the other part will be given out by juried awards. And there was, like I said, $250,000 in prize money going directly to artists. Those will be given out on September 30th. And that will be at Studio Park, is where those will be announced. We like to do the awards on the last Friday of the event. It then gives people a couple of days. It gives them that Saturday and Sunday to look at and see what the winners are and come down and check them out again if they haven't already seen them. So we're excited for the award show this year.
All right. And then you mentioned earlier that there's going to be several events that go on throughout. First off, it looks like Maker's Market will be occurring every Friday and Saturday near Rosa Park Circle. Can you talk a little bit about what that is exactly?
Yeah, absolutely. So Maker's Market will be held in the parking lot of the AC Hotel, which is at the intersection of Lewis and Monroe downtown. And like you said, it's every Friday and Saturday during ArtPrize, and it's where we bring together the maker community of Grand Rapids and of West Michigan. So they'll be able to set up, pop-up storefronts or pop-up sampling tents. So a lot of local businesses will be represented there. Like I said, a lot of makers who are there to sell their really cool, be it jewelry or fabric goods, rugs, all that kind of stuff. So stuff that's really handmade, that's really unique and really cool to Western Michigan. So we're excited for that. There's a really great event taking place Sunday, the 18th at Rosa Park Circle. It's called Pleasant Peninsula, and it's again free and open to the public. Most of the ArtPrize events are. And just a really cool festival taking place with live music. Again, representatives from other local community organizations will be there. And it coincides with a giant mural that's being installed on one of the buildings just across the street from Rosa Park Circle. So that'll be a really cool event to check out as well. Yeah, there's a lot going on. And people want to check out our full events calendar, they can do so again just by going to artprize.org/events. And you can see that, and hopefully we'll be back here again to chat about a few more as ArtPrize gets going.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, I wanted to talk about one more real quick.
Yeah.
The Grand Rapids Tech Week and Midwest House is happening during ArtPrize. So how is that going to correspond to ArtPrize? What's happening there?
Yeah, it's really cool. This is a really neat and innovative new event that's coming to Grand Rapids. Grand Rapids, I think I heard this morning, was named one of the best cities to have a tech startup. Actually, I think Yahoo or somebody like that announced that this morning. And so yeah, Grand Rapids is really shining a spotlight on its tech community, which is very, very strong here. And so Tech Week is a collaboration with, like you said, Midwest House. And they will be partnering with the Right Place here in Grand Rapids to bring together, large tech companies and kind of combine them with smaller startups that are taking place here and in Grand Rapids and West Michigan, and seeing how they can help each other. Giant corporations can get help from and get ideas from a brand new startup that's starting. So, and then on the flip side, obviously those startups can get help from large corporations. So it's a really cool event this year. It's September 23rd through 24th. And they will be expanding that next year. It was kind of they just kind of wanted to test the waters and put together a really strong 2-day program for this year. So we're excited for that. We definitely want ArtPrize to be part of that event, especially with our new digital art category. So we're really looking forward to working with them and see what they bring. And again, all of their events are free and open to the public as well. So really cool experiences to be had there.
All right, and then so then the final main event will be the closing ceremonies, right?
Yep, exactly right.
Can you talk a little bit about what happens there, other than the awarding of the prizes?
Yeah, so we'll be in the piazza of Studio Park. Again, free and open to the public. It takes place on Friday, September 30th at 7 p.m. And we'll be, like you said, awarding the $250,000 in prize money to the winners of ArtPrize 2022. And we'll have live music, we'll have a beer garden, we'll have local food vendors that are there. So it's really a fun evening to just come and kind of hang out, bring a chair, bring a blanket, hang out with us and get to see firsthand and hear from the artists that win. So we'll give them an opportunity to join us on stage and accept the award and get to hear about their experience and what it's like to be part of ArtPrize. So we're really excited to hear those stories and hear those experiences that they've had the last, will have been 17 days, I believe. So but yeah, again, free and open to the public. We really want people to come and experience it and encourage you to attend.
All right, and then just a couple more questions for you. First off, I'm going to go, this might be a large question, but can you kind of just go over the overall experience that a visitor will get to enjoy when they're downtown during ArtPrize?
Yeah, so, when you do visit downtown during ArtPrize, you're sure to be part of a larger crowd of people. And we've made it very easy for you to get around downtown, especially by using either the Dash bus, or we've got on our map other bus routes. We have the scooter share program and the bike share program, which are all highlighted on our map. So you'll be able to get around very easily. We've got parking garages noted on the map as well. So once you're here, you're like ArtPrize Past, you're going to see just art everywhere you turn. We have about 750 artists that are participating. I think we're just under 200 venues around the downtown area. And so, yeah, so you'll see art everywhere that you look. And we do want people to experience the art and not feel like they have to react to the art in a certain way. Art obviously is subject to one's own emotions and opinions. And, for some people that do attend ArtPrize, this is their only chance to see art maybe throughout their whole year. And so we really want people to take the time to stop and take a moment to experience the art and look at it. And maybe it is a visual stimulation, maybe there's a scent that's involved. But we want people to really take that time and get to know the art. And that might require coming down, more than just one time. If that's your cup of tea, there's plenty to see, like I said, and you'll see something new every time that you do visit. So you'll see, those experiences, and I love walking around, seeing kids interacting with art for the first time as well. Lots of kids that just really have grown up knowing ArtPrize. A lot of them have been born during ArtPrize's run, and so it's really fun to see those first timers come and check it out. And then just downtown is bustling. We have all those events taking place. Most of them, like I said, free and open to the public. So there's no ticket required, no RSVP required. A good time definitely to be had by everybody that comes down. And then, if downtown isn't your cup of tea, we do have quite a few, I'd say probably 7 satellite venues. So we have official ArtPrize entries at Meyer Gardens, for example, or the baggage claim of Gerald R. Ford Airport. The zoo has an installation. MLK Park has installations. So if you prefer not to come downtown, there's an ArtPrize experience surrounding the downtown corridor as well. So something for everybody. Make it your own. Use our map to plan your route, and to see and experience and take in as much art as you can.
Yeah, you mentioned how some kids were born during this, and both of my children were actually born during ArtPrize.
Oh, were they?
And they've both been down. And I kind of miss because I used to work downtown. We were talking about this a little before we started the recording. And so I was immersed in it every single year. So I kind of missed that a little bit. Now I just have to go down on a weekend. But I just remember during the week when I was down there, like crowds were a lot smaller. You could have much easier access to the art, not discouraging people from coming on the weekends, of course, because it's still a fantastic time to come down. It's more of a community event on the weekends, it feels like, than during the weeks. Sure. But can you talk a little bit about like when some great times to come for people so that they aren't, if they don't want to be immersed in huge crowds and they want to come down and just kind of have more intimate experiences with the art?
Yep. Yeah. So if you do want to come down and not have to be stuck in a horde of people trying to cross the street at the same time, which, those generally take place on the weekends, Friday afternoons into the nighttime. Saturdays and Sundays are obviously the busiest times for ArtPrize. So if you do want, a little more breathing room, a little more elbow room, if you will, we do recommend coming down, Monday through Thursday. If you can, even the evenings, if you get out of work and want to plan a couple hours, those are generally really good times to be able to get around and see and have a little more of an intimate interaction with the pieces themselves. And then, if it's a rainy day, we have a lot of outdoor art that's really cool, but, we have a lot of indoor stuff that's really, really unique and really, it's really once in a lifetime opportunity to see this here in our city. A lot of these indoor pieces, and so use our map to find those indoor spaces. If it's a rainy day, at least you're going to be inside. Use the skywalk that's downtown that connects a lot of our major venues. That'll keep you dry. So we do generally see a little bit less of a crowd during the weekdays, weekday evenings, and then during not so perfect weather, West Michigan.
Right, exactly. All right, one last question for you, and I don't know if you're willing to answer this or not, but do you have any must-see installations or venues that you think people need to know about this year at ArtPrize?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot.
Yeah, and I don't want to
have to be
have
careful.
You showing favoritism or anything. That's why I included venues, or maybe even areas of downtown that people need to check out.
Yeah, no, it's a good question, and I'm happy to kind of share what I'm looking forward to. This year we brought back our what we call our featured public projects, and we've awarded and given out about $200,000 in those grants for people to come and bring these large scale outdoor public art pieces. So for sure, check out Calder Plaza. There's a really neat interactive sculpture going on or being installed there. It's called IRO. It's a giant eyeball on top of this really cool audio-visual tower, if you will. Lots of lights, lots of sound. And then IRO has its own app that you can go on, and you yourself can control IRO. And the more interaction that IRO gets through its app, the more active it is, and the cool things that it can do really come out. Looking forward to that. There's really cool installations on the Blue Bridge that I'm really looking forward to. An artist called Swilk will be installing in a couple of shipping containers on the Blue Bridge. DeVos Place always has a really great show. Monroe Community Church up in North Monroe neighborhood. Again, indoor venue. I could spend hours in there. They always have such a really great curated show, and you'll find stuff in there that is really, really special. And like I was saying, those once in a lifetime chances to see those kinds of pieces. City Hall has a really great installation and curated show in there, I think they call it the plaza level of City Hall, just adjacent to Calder Plaza. And there's a really great piece that comes to mind that's been brought in from Ukraine. And it's a partnership with the Ukrainian Fashion Institute. And so it's a Ukrainian flag that's been made out of scraps and pieces of fabric from the Institute. So really cool that we have that here in Grand Rapids for the short 18 days that we'll have it. Gosh, what else? I could go on and on, Steve. And then check out the other major venues that you're used to. The Ford Museum is back open again and accepting people indoors. Anabawan Park is always a great experience to walk around. I mentioned the zoo and the Meyer Gardens. They always have really great pieces. So yeah, I mean, it's everywhere again. It's definitely, we're back, and it's coming back to you every year. No more taking a year off in between ArtPrizes. It's now back to its annual event, and post-pandemic world, we're eating it up and loving it, because we get to kind of go back to some of the stuff that we were doing before the shutdown. So yeah, those are kind of some of my highlights that I'm looking forward to.
All right, so it sounds like pretty much your favorite part about ArtPrize is ArtPrize.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Right. All right, is there anything else you'd like to add? Anything else we might have glossed over?
We're just really excited to be able to be back yearly, to take this time every year to really showcase and shine a light on artists. They, like everybody else in our worlds, have gone through a lot during this crazy time, the last 4 or so years, and it's really soul fulfilling for them, and really great for them to be able to show their works again. And having ArtPrize in our community that is able to do that at this scale and this magnitude is really something unique and special. And it's amazing that we have it here in our city. And I just hope everybody comes and shows that support for artists and for our community, because it's really a special thing that we have going here. So hope everybody is able to join.
And I am very excited about coming downtown. I'll be bringing my girls here, and probably next week I'll wait for opening weekend, the crowds to kind of thin out a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, Derek Call, he is the operations and events director for ArtPrize. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure I'll be see you over the next couple of weeks again, and talk with some artists as well. So I'm really excited to kind of
that'd be great.
The nitty gritty of everything.
That's right. That's right. They've got a unique perspective of the event, which is awesome. We love it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks again for taking time out of your day. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.